Jungkook hopped out in anger as he stormed towards his room. With one rough tug, he opened his cup, muttering curses under his breath as he slammed the door open, the unmistakable stains of blood decorating his white shirt. His hands working on loosening his tie as he abruptly halted in his tracks. Something felt amiss. He narrowed his eyes, roaming around as it caught attention of his secret ashtray, which was placed where he left it last time. His gaze flickered to the crumpled bedsheets. His hand instinctively reached for the gun at the back of his belt, his senses on high alert. His belongings always placed on a specific place, but now he remembered each detail. If something missed, he will eventually get to know, just like right now. Not only that, he felt the presence of someone, like someone is watching him. He felt his muscle tighten as he looked around the room carefully, his hand over his gun, his fingers twitching to draw it forward, but a nagging thought held him back momentarily. Whoever had breached his safe rules must either be incredibly brave or incredibly foolish. Paying attention to every sound in shadow, he glanced at the window, considering it might be a possible escape route for the intruder like to evade capture. He heard a faint noise behind him, prompting him to whirl around in a swift motion. His hand instinctively reached out, kicking right into their leg and seizing the opportunity and seizing the intruder by the neck, forcefully slamming them on the bed. His gun pointed over their head, his breath heavy. His grip tightened. Instinctively, but as his eyes adjusted to the dim light he frozen display, he caught a whiff of her familiar cologne, felt the warmth of her breath against his skin. It was the doctor, the last person he expected to find in his room, let alone attempting to sneak up on him. "Doc," he muttered, his voice laced with disbelief. His grip on her wrist tightened instinctively, his breath coming in wretched gasps as he struggled to maintain control. "I'm surprised," she said, trying to act cool, even though his expression was unreadable, and then without warning he pressed the trigger. The sound of the gunshot ringing out in the silence of the room. She flinched, her eyes squinting shut as her grip tightened on his bicep, bracing for the impact of the bullet against her skull. But to her surprise, there was no searing pain, no blood spurted against the wall. Instead, she felt the mattress shift beneath her as the bullet embedded itself into the fabric, inches away from her head. Slowly, cautiously, she opened her eyes, her gaze locked with his in the dim light. She can see his jaw clenched. "Damn it, Ryan," he growled as he released his grip on her. "What were you even thinking, sneaking up on me like that? Don't you think that's a bit of an overreaction?" she said, trying to act confident, even though she still can't hear the piercing noise in her head because of the gunshot near her damn head. His eyes narrowed, his grip wrist loosening, but his expression still hard as steel. "Oh, overreaction. You think sneaking into my room in the dead of the night is just a little crime? Could have blown your brain out, but you didn't." His nostril flared as he watched her now sitting up straight. He placed his gun on the table and ran a hand through his disheveled hair. "I could have," he pressed on his words, "and besides, why would you even sneak in the room like that?" "I did not sneak. The door was open, so I just happened to enter, and since you were not here, I thought I would treat myself." He rolled his eyes, a corner of his lips twitching with annoyance. "Who even let you inside the mansion?" "Well, your right hand man called me, telling me that you had gotten yourself injured again, and that you needed me again. So being the kind-hearted person I am, I'm here to help you." He cursed under his breath the mention of right-hand man, the none other than Jimin. Of course, Jimin would call for a doctor at the slightest hint of injury, as if he would keel over and die from a paper cut. "I didn't ask for your help, Doc, and I certainly don't need it now, so you can go back to where you come from." One rolled her eyes, a scope escaping her lips as she shook her head in disbelief. "Damn it, I knew you would be stubborn. Can you act like an actual mature person for once? You sound like 70 years old egoistic boy who thinks he can do everything himself and doesn't need anyone." His grip on the table tightened, his gaze darkening with anger at her baldness. "If I were you, I'd do urge my mouth around someone like me. Does that supposed to scare me?" she asked, clearly enjoying getting into his nuts. His jaw clenched at her audacity. "Sure." His voice was so hardness curled into a slight wind. "Well, I hate to break it to you, Jungkook, but I'm not easily intimidated. Maybe you should say all this threat to someone else. And now, if you're done with your childish threats, can we focus on what's really important here? You're bleeding." He pointed towards his white shirt, now drenched in his blood, his expression hardening as he took in the sight of the crystal stain marrying his pristine fabric. He finally gave in. She had stopped far too much for his liking. Fine, just get it done already. She rolled her eyes at his attitude, feeling like to yell back at him for treating her like some sort of servant. But she didn't. Instead, she moved towards the table where her back was. She retrieved the necessary supplies before settling in front of him. He stared at her blankly, his expression unreadable. So what are you waiting for me to remove your shirt? He rolled his eyes, endurance flickering his features before he shrugged out of his shirt. She stared at him, her gaze looming for a moment longer than strictly necessary before she composed herself and focused on the task at hand. She couldn't help but note the severity of the wound. It didn't look too deep, but it was long, cut from abdomen to the side of his torso. She was surprised at how he was not concealing pain. But then again, what do we expect from someone like him? He became like a cold stone person devoid of any visible emotion. Did you run out of words that now you were engaged in a sword fight or something? His jaw clenched slightly at the sting of the antiseptic, but he remained silent for a moment before responding. They attacked me from behind. They had knives and caught me off guard. One of them grazed a knife on my stomach, but I was lucky enough to get away. Be careful next time. You know, it was not long ago I had to take a bullet out of your arm. And why do you care so much? Just do your job. She stared at him, her gaze steady, despite the hint of hurt in her eyes. She is now chronically systematic to his cold beer, but it still stung to be dismissed so callously. I care about because it's my job, whether you like it or not. I'm here to make sure you don't bleed out on the floor. So the things you could do is show a little gratitude. He scooped leaning back on the bed as she bandaged. Gratitude from me? Don't hold this breath, babe. I can't expect anything from you anyway. Damn right, you shouldn't be. I'm not sitting here to give you a gold medal anyway. Van rolled her eyes. I wouldn't dream of it now. If you will excuse me, I have better things to do than babysit a wounded mafia. Finally patching him up, his gaze followed her every expression as she gathered her things to leave. You know, I should have blown your brain when I had the chance. You look at him, a snap forming on her lips as she raised her eyebrow. We both know you can't do that, sweetheart. Her voice was low, dripping with confidence, as she took a step towards him, standing right in front of him. She bent down, her fingers jabbing at his bare chest near his heart. Your heart fell out right. Jungkook stared at her, the boldness in her demeanor streamed with a sense of familiarity. He knew he was real dumb. She was right, as much as he hated to admit it. No matter how much he despised the peasant, he couldn't even entertain the thought of hurting her. His heart simply wouldn't allow that. Love in a silent battle of words, their eyes speaking volume as they dared each other to look away, but their hand, as their stand-up, was abruptly interrupted by the loud of rumble under, followed by the sudden patter of raindrops against the window. Yoon prospered as she walked towards the glass. His house was damn luxurious, she had to admit it. Standing in front of it, she stared down the street as the heavy rain continued to pour down. Damn it, I should have checked the weather, she said to her watch as she walked back to grab her purse. I need to leave before it gets bad. Jungkook shook his head, his expression clear as he stepped closer to her. You can't go out like this. It's too much dangerous. I can't. Tell someone to take me back to my apartment. I won't risk the safety of my or anyone else for that matter. If you're that stubborn, then go ahead. But don't say I didn't warn you, he said as he carefully turned around. She glared at him back, but as he glanced back at the raging storm outside, she knew that leaving in anger would be nothing short of foolishness. stopped staring. He snapped out of his thought as his gaze finally met hers and she felt her stomach lift. Why does that make you nervous? It doesn't, she answered back immediately, not wanting to get caught and its make frightened, knowing damn well how it affects her. She loved when he stared at her. She always and it always make her nervous. He knows that too. And the silence enveloped them. Her gaze occasionally drifted towards him as she searched his troubles while he was slightly looking out of the window. I thought you stopped smoking. Her words pierced through the quiet drawing his attention back to her. His gaze flickers towards her, discoloring into a small smile before he took another drag of cigarette. I did, but I realized all habits die hard, just like some people. She knew Jungkook had a talent for getting under his skin just right now, and he was pushing all the right buttons. Funny, I thought you had more self-control. I really have such more self-control than you think, really. Are you willing to sit here alive? Do you hate me that much, sweetie? She asked. Her face was confident, but once she asked this question because some other reasons. Hate is not the word I would use for you. There should be a stronger word, stronger than hate. She felt a lump in her throat. She looked away from his piercing gaze, and there was silence. Only the sound of rain could be heard. When she couldn't take the silence anymore, she abruptly stood up. Jungkook watched her for a moment. He reached out to stop her, his hand gripping her arm as he asked, "Where are you going?" One met his gaze briefly before averting her eyes. His grip tightened slightly, his brows fine. Don't be ridiculous. It's a storm outside. You can't go out in this weather. I'll manage. She released her hand from his grip and walked towards the door, turning them up only to feel the sudden pause in her waist as his grip tightened, pulling her back against his chest. Stop being stubborn.